Dude, yeah, so you're so bad for you guys just like fucking it was a perfect combination, man.
It was a good time. It was great timing, and then the pandemic helped the show. But when Bobby went back to rehab, which I've sent him to 3 times, we're trying to keep him safe and clean, and he's doing a great job. But when he went back to rehab after his dad died, the story goes that he relapsed. I knew. Almost nobody knew. I don't think anybody really knew. Like people kind of talked to, maybe there was suspicion that he was acting weird, but he's a weirdo. So it's like, how do you really, but then he was hiding out a lot. I knew, he told me not to tell anybody. I got real uncomfortable. I kind of started to, question like, I'll just ruin our friendship, I guess, and tell people.
Right.
Because he was like, I'll never talk to you again if you tell anybody that I'm using. So I was like, well, fuck it. I guess I'll just lose a friend. And then really before I started to go after and tell people, Kalila came at me and was like, I knew he's using, and I knew he like used you against me to try to hide it, and she's like, I'm sorry you had to go through that. But then finally he admitted it to me and he apologized and was like, I'll go get help. And I said, when I get out, we'll start the show. Because Kalila, when I had filled in for her Tiger Belly, she had been like, go do a show together. Because the fans wanted it and people talked about it. So when he got out and he got clean, that's when we started it. And then 3 months into it, pandemic hit. It was almost like a gift from God, because then we got to just shoot all the time and be together in the studio. I mean, truly, it was. And
you need that. If you're really building one, I think you got to have time. I think that's one thing that I didn't realize, I think, over the years is just like how much time it takes to do a podcast. There's a lot that goes into it.
This is a job.
Yeah.
And then when I first started going on Rogan's, and then I realized he does a job. He does this job 5, sometimes 6 days a week, and then his other job, and then his other job, and then his other job, and he still has kettlebells in his hand while he's doing it. Like in the middle of it, he's just ripping bells. He's the most impressive work ethic I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's a good point.
Hands down. The work ethic is through the roof. And then open a comedy club and change the scene.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's like for anyone that has any doubts or any questions or even thoughts about him that are, negative or against the grain, it's like you don't understand that guy. He's a machine, a magic machine.
I want to know, what was it like touring with Bad Friends?
Me and Bob on tour?
Yeah, because I remember I ran across you guys.
We were in DC.
DC.
This is how funny this is how DC was. Theo, I don't want to do it to make you feel a type of way, but I'm so proud of you and so happy for you as a friend who's known you for so long. I was so proud of like you and your success, and it really does make, it's kind of like, because you're ours a little bit, you know what I mean? Like I watched it happen, so I was like, just proud of you. I know proud is a weird word, but I'm happy for you or whatever. And when we're in DC, we did one show at the Constitution Hall, and Theo was gracious enough to take one night off so we could do it because the schedules overlapped. So you did 4 shows there, right? Or 5, something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
And we barely sold out 1 and he sold out 5. I was like, God, dude. It was awesome. But then we met in the hotel. We had a great night together and we were chatting. And like,
I wanted to be at y'all's show.
Well, those moments were amazing because like the road has dull moments where you're humming along on the bus. It was tough.
Was it? And you and Bobby are on the same bus, yeah.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah,
it was tough.
Yeah, because we have our tour manager on our bus. Like, it's like a group effort.
Yeah, everyone has to be on the bus. But
is that fun? What's it like being in that sort of like, I can't imagine being on wheels with Bobby. That's where it gets extremely alarming. Yeah,
mobile is tough with him. Yeah, because at least you're on land, you can disappear. Yeah. You can walk away from him.
A lot of Asians aren't good in motion, right? Like,
in any kind of form of motion. Have you ever seen an Asian drive a boat? They're not allowed to. No, that's against sea. That's maritime law. No Asians at sea. It's an old, I think it's from World War I.
Well, if you think about Asians, like they don't, there's the kamikaze pilots, right? That's and then there's driving Asians is throughout the history of time has been traumatic. Has been traumatic for people. And then even like if you go to look at like Iwo Jima, like their troops, they would hide in the tunnels, or in Vietnam in the Coochie tunnels. Like it's once they get in motion, they can't handle it.
Yeah, they get afraid. Well, I think it's tough when they're like Bob. If you ever see Bob try to like run or like walk fast, he starts to wobble. Yeah, he'll get off axis. It's kind of strange. I'll have to hold him sometimes if he's in a hurry.
Yeah.
So I'll I'll shoulder him up if he's in a hurry so we can walk in a straighter line.
Yeah.
It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah. And he has only like one muscle in his body. I've seen like a MRI of him or something. It's baffling, dude. Because I remember he sneezed once and blew his back out.
Yeah. Well, dude, and the muscle moves. That's what's kind of interesting. The muscle, at some point, he'll have a muscle just on his high shoulder. Yeah. If he's moving a lot, it'll move down to his leg. It
swims around his body like a koi. It's alarming.
Him on a bus was wild. We did 60 some odd cities.
Fucking, oh, dude.
It was wild. Yeah. We stopped and started. I don't even know if you heard this through the grapevine. I almost I did have a mental breakdown with him at Dollywood. Wait, Dollywood?
In Tennessee? Dollywood.
Yeah, Dollywood.
Yeah.
Had a mental breakdown. Yeah. Huge.
What happened? So it had just been a lot of time on the bus?
We were just tired of each other, man. You know
hard.
how it gets. And then we were supposed to go to Dollywood at a certain time, right? At a reasonable adult time, like 11:30 or noon. Reasonable adult. And he had slept in past when we were going to all go together. That he threw a fit about it, that we were rushing him, which is insane. What do you need to really do? You put on the kimono and let's go. Yeah. So we get on the bus, we go, we get to Dollywood, we get in, and then he says, I want to sit down and eat a meal. And I said, we just got here. Let's go enjoy it. All the crew is with us. And he's like, I want to eat. You can go do whatever you want. And him and I were bickering, and I just was like, you know what? You're right. I am going to go do what I want. So I left, and they were all like, oh, where are you going? And I just went on my own. I just wanted to, some days you want to just be alone.
Oh.
And there was only one Uber in Pigeon Forge. There's one Uber.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. There's one Uber, and the dude and his girlfriend were driving. That was the only car available.
Yeah, so and the guy calls himself Paul Revere. Too,
yeah, which I don't like it. Yeah. I don't like it. And his girlfriend doesn't make any comments about it because I said, you're not going to say anything about Paul?
She's not allowed to talk.
No, well, and I agree. But he picked me up. And I had asked him where the closest airport was because I was going to fly home to Chicago to see my parents because I was like, I need a break. We had 4 days down anyway. And then they got in the Uber hours later, and the same guy was like, your friend asking for a local airport, I think he done took off. But so my phone was off, so they thought I left.
Wow.
They were like, he quit the tour, the tour's over.
Yeah.
They kind of had a moment of panic, and he deserved it because I needed a break from him being a little brat. So it kind of like checked us, but then, of course, what happened afterwards, he woke up in the morning. The next day I came back to the bus, and he gave me a big hug and a kiss on the cheek, and he said he was sorry. And then it was, like anything, he's my brother.
Yeah.
But you fight, you fight.
Oh, being on a tour bus is hard,
It sucks. You're on top of each other. Yeah. It smells. Everyone's messy.
Oh, especially
you can hear
Bobby.
The way. Oh yeah, listening to the way he sleeps so. It's so weird the way he sleeps. You can hear him sleeping.
Yeah, somebody said he sounds kind of like a little bit of like a generator,
Wait. Yeah, that's
like he has a bad fan belt or something.
Yeah, something. There's a hiccup. There's like one thing skipping over. It needs to be realigned, but he'll never get it done.
Like his DAT fan belt is off, Oh, he'll never get it fucking realigned.
No, he'll never get it realigned.
Bobby is one loose. He steps on one bad rock and he's
gone. That's it. So I don't want to lose him. So I really do take good care of him. But it was a great tour. We had a great time. But we're going to go down to Australia at the end of the year because we owe that to them because we canceled it. And then after that, we're not going to tour for at least another whole year.
Bad friends.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, you got to take some breaks, man.
I know. Look, it's hard to be a business partner and one of my best friends with someone that I respect so little. It's tough. I love him to death. He's my perfect, he's my comedy complement. I've never met somebody more that I feel the most in tune with comedically.
Really?
Just because he's it just feels like our brains connect on just a dumb, perfect level. And I understand him, and he gets me, and he knows what gets me mad, and I know what gets him mad. It's something about it so fun.
Yeah,
I feel like a kid when I'm with him. Whenever we get together, it's the most fun. I've said this 100 times. It's the best thing that's ever happened in my career. Of all the shit I've done, of all the things that I could be like, that was cool, I'm proud of that. This is by far the most fun I've ever had in my life. It is a blessing from the universe, and thank God me and that little dumpling are together because it's the most fun I've ever had. I've never had that much fun in anything in my career. No crushing on stage, no TV show accolade.
Really?
Nothing.
Wow.
it feels so because it's so free.
Oh, you guys have a blast, man. I mean, you guys have created a top 20 podcast together. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know,
it's what you've gotten to do. Isn't this rewarding? This is like how fun. I get to have fun.